got to feel good for you to be back here, right?
Yes, it does. It feels like it's kind of like coming home. Like it's it in a way it feels like I've been away for a long time. In a way, it feels like it was like just a minute.
Yeah.
You know?
Probably, I'm going to assume motherhood does that to you, though. I mean,
Yeah.
right?
Oh
You're
yeah.
used to it, but
Yeah. Constantly doing stuff. You kind of like lose track of time too.
um, talk a little bit about the time away and sort of what that does for you motivation-wise, and obviously you have so many other things going on when you become a mom again, and so many things to distract you from thinking about, oh, when can I get back in there?
Yeah.
But how often did you kind of think about it in that interim period?
I trained all throughout my pregnancy. I tried to, you know, do as much as I could for as long as I could, and I set specific goals during that time too. So I wanted to clean up the areas that I was always focusing on doing, like doing what the practice was led by, you know, what the coaches were showing, everything, and I didn't always get time to focus exactly on my specific areas that I needed to do better. And so pregnancy actually allowed me to become better at jiu-jitsu and become better in my striking. I could focus exactly only on what I needed. And so I came back and I feel like I've improved in those areas a lot. And even whenever I'm at home, I'm at home. I don't think about anything else. I'm taking care of my son, I'm taking care of my daughter, you know, like I'm doing what I need to do. But when I schedule time for the gym, I get back in there. I got back in as soon as I possibly could, as long as my body was healed. And when I'm there, I'm a fighter, you know, like I don't think about anything else, and I'm getting ready for everything that I need.
When the time came for you to make the call and say, you know, hey guys, I'm ready to come back, start looking for something for me.
Yeah.
Was that just kind of a switch that you got to flip and say, all right, I know that, boom, I'm ready to go now?
So I don't think I think that people get ring rust or get, you know, different, you know, they feel different if they ever turn that switch off. I just never turned that switch off. So all throughout my pregnancy, like I knew I wasn't going to be competing, but the seriousness of the practiceness, the importance of it, it was there the whole time. So
So mentally, you're ready to go no matter what. I mean, you were.
yeah, I wanted to fight. It was a little over 6 months after I had him, and my muscles were ready, my bones were ready, and just, you know, my ligaments still had to adapt to a pregnancy life and a non-pregnancy life. So that kind of put me out of the fight right away. But a lot of my mind and my body were ready.
You're not exactly right next door to home, but you're not that far away either.
No.
Was this sort of the ideal event to be able to get on? And was it a request of yours?
Yeah, I asked to be here. A lot of people that I knew, as far as going through high school, I started wrestling in Marion, North Carolina, so a lot of the following from North Carolina is not that far away. And then South Carolina is where I did the majority of my fight career. So I thought it was good to just get back on the East Coast and get closer to the people that, you know, may not be able to make the trip to Vegas to see me fight sometime, and kind of just fight a little closer to home for them.
Nice to not have to get on a plane to Vegas or Canada or whatever. And
Yeah. It's more affordable for them. A lot of people can drive, so. And plus, I like the Carolinas. I like the weather. Even though it's a little chillier right now, but I just like the atmosphere. Feels familiar.
You're close enough here that if you forgot something at home, you can send somebody back for it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, right? Talk to me a little bit about Lina, what she brings to the table. She's been around a bit.
Yeah.
She's had her ups and downs, but sort of what skill sets are you watching out for on Saturday night?
I think that when we come and prepare, you know, at Team Alpha Man, when we prepare for every person, we expect the best version of that person. So she's predominantly a good striker, but you know, she's taken people down. She's you know, done well in jiu-jitsu too. So we just expect that she has grown and improved, and that she's going to be able to be the best fighter that she can be during this fight. So it's kind of a no stone unturned mentality.
I mean, I guess the looking at it on paper would say that somebody would say, well, clearly you should take her down and you'll be better than her on the ground.
Yeah. Well,
but you are saying, hey, she'll probably be ready everywhere.
Yeah. Yep. So even if I take her down, you know, I'm sure she's been training different things like takedown defense and, you know, on the bottom of the ground to be able to get sweeps or stand it back up. So we just expect that. But really, like, I love takedowns. That's why I was a wrestler for so long. So it's really no surprise that I'll be going for takedowns in every single fight that I ever do. Like, it's just, I just enjoy it. But that being said, if I had to, we train my striking. If I have to stay on my feet the entire 15 minutes or 25 minutes, I can still win there. So.
We're not so far into 2020 yet where we still can't talk about goals or resolutions or anything like that, but you've had that taste of being able to be right there at the cusp, at the top. Is that a kind of goal that you set for 2020 and say by the end of this year, it's possible that I could be right back there again?
So, yes, yes and no. I think that in the past I have looked ahead too far, and that's gotten me in trouble. It's got me to not focus on what is right in front of me and what's in the moment. So right now, I'm looking at this fight, and then I'm going to only look at my next fight. I always ask for top opponents. So right after this, I will want a top opponent, and that will naturally lead me closer to the goal. But I think that taking it one fight at a time and one round at a time, one punch at a time, one takedown at a time, it's actually better for me to focus on process than outcome.
Do you have frequency goals for this year? And I guess the follow up from that would be, did the layoff that you had sort of force your hand with any kind of frequency that you might want to have in 2020?
So I've always wanted to fight a little more frequent than every 6 months. But yes, I do want to fight more frequently. I wish I could fight every 3 months. That'd be ideal for me. But I don't think that. I think that opponents will come whenever it's the right time and the right person. I'm just trying not to get too bogged down in the other things. I'm just going to ask for fights. I think that they will do it. Like, even if it is slower, I'm not going to get too stressed out about that, because right now I'm 39. If it happens when I'm 40, is that really that big of a difference? No. And I'll have more time to keep working on myself and become a better version of myself.
Since you brought up the age, let me ask you about the longevity on the women's side. So on the men's side, 40 seems to be that magic number for a lot of the weight classes, and then but heavyweights, for whatever reason, they say, hey, these guys can go a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Do you feel like on the women's side of things that we're going to find out that you guys can fight deeper into your 40s than some of the guys on the men's side?
So I'm not sure where that real line is. I think it's each individual athlete. I think some people come in and they train at such an intensity that not only do they sometimes burn out, but they accumulate injuries, that the ones that haunt you, the ones that don't go away, and the ones that take up huge chunks of time for you as an athlete. And some people train smarter. I think the only reason why I've been able to do it this long is that when I have an injury, whether it's a small injury or a large injury, I still train, so I'm growing, but I train around my injuries, and that's given me a longer lifespan. I did the same thing in wrestling, where I know people who were like, no, I'm just going to train through it, and those people, their bodies are completely falling apart, at 30. So I think that the intelligence of the fighter really is more the factor in longevity than it is men or women or, heavyweight or whatever. It's how smart do you train?